Hey, welcome back to Melting Knowledge. Today, we've got a real nail-biter for you, the top 10 biggest bank robberies in history. Strap in, because we're about to take you on a wild ride through some of the most daring heists that have gone down in books. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, so you never miss out on our thrilling content. Now, let's count it down from number 10. Number 10, the Dunbar Armored Robbery. The Dunbar Armored Robbery is one of the most fascinating chapters in the history of big bank heists. Happening in 1997, this daring robbery took place in Los Angeles, California. A group of skilled thieves managed to infiltrate the Dunbar Armored facility, making off with an astounding $18.9 million, a record-breaking amount at the time. What's intriguing is the audacious plan these criminals executed. They took advantage of the trust built among coworkers, carefully planning their moves. The heist involved meticulous timing, as well as inside information to disarm security systems. The aftermath saw a cat-and-mouse game between the law and the criminals, some of whom were eventually apprehended. The sheer audacity and meticulous planning of the Dunbar Armored Robbery secured its place as one of the biggest bank heists in history, leaving investigators and the public in awe of the cunning displayed by the perpetrators. Number 9, the United California Bank Heist. In 1972, a professional criminal from Ohio, Emil Dincio, gathered a group of 6 accomplices and traveled to California to execute a bank robbery. The intended target was a bank where they had heard, incorrectly, that President Richard Nixon kept a multi-million-dollar slush fund. The perpetrators dynamited their way into the vault, made off with $30 million worth of cash and valuables, and then meticulously cleaned the townhouse they had rented, removing any evidence they had stayed there. Eventually, the authorities were able to identify the robbers through a generous tip they had given a taxi driver, as well as fingerprints found on the dishwasher in the townhouse, which they had forgotten to empty. Number 8, the British Bank of the Middle East Robbery. Back in 1976, a group of skilled thieves tunneled their way into the vault of the Beirut-based bank, making off with an astronomical sum that has since become the stuff of legend. The audacious nature of the crime, involving a meticulously planned tunnel that spanned over 80 feet, captured the imagination of both law enforcement and the public. The robbers, equipped with ingenuity and daring, managed to outsmart the bank's security measures. The loot, estimated at around $20 million, was a staggering amount for its time. The British Bank of the Middle East Robbery has etched itself into the lore of high-stakes heists, showcasing the intersection of cunning strategy and audacious execution that defines the most intriguing chapters in the history of bank. Number 7, the Brinks Map Burglary. The Brinks Map Burglary stands out as one of the most fascinating chapters in the history of big bank heists. Back in 1983, a group of audacious thieves targeted the Heathrow International Trading Estate near London. Their primary goal? A vault filled with unimaginable treasures, including cash, gold, and diamonds. What began as a routine heist quickly transformed into a gold rush when the robbers stumbled upon an unexpected fortune in gold bars worth over £26 million. The sheer magnitude of the loot shocked the world. The aftermath was a mix of greed, betrayal, and violence, as the stolen gold proved to be a curse rather than a blessing for those involved. The Brinks Map Burglary continues to capture the public's imagination as a vivid reminder of the audacity and consequences that accompany such high-stakes criminal endeavors. Number 6, the Northern Bank Robbery. Happening in 2004 in Belfast, Ireland, this daring theft was like a plot straight out of a Hollywood thriller. A group of well-coordinated robbers managed to infiltrate the bank, making off with a staggering £26.5 million. What makes this caper even more intriguing is the mystery surrounding the culprits, as their identities remain unknown. The meticulous planning and execution of the heist left investigators scratching their heads. The stolen cash, a colossal amount, was never fully recovered, adding to the enigma of the Northern Bank Robbery. This audacious crime not only had financial repercussions, but also became a symbol of the cat-and-mouse game between law enforcement and the shadowy world of high-stakes thefts, leaving the public both fascinated and bewildered by the audacity of those who pulled off this remarkable heist. Number 5. The Bonco Central Burglary. Back in 2005, a group of audacious thieves dug a 78-meter tunnel to access the Bonco Central in Fortaleza, Brazil. The tunnel, complete with electric lighting and air conditioning, showcased a level of sophistication that left the authorities dumbfounded. The daring criminals spent 3 months excavating, avoiding detection in a bustling city. Once inside, they managed to make off with around $70 million in cash, making it one of the largest heists in the world. The thieves left behind a web of mysteries, as the tunnel was an engineering marvel. Despite the scale of the theft, the culprits eluded capture for years, leaving behind a tale of intrigue and audacity in the annals of criminal history. Number 4. The Securitas Depot Robbery. This robbery happened in 2006. This audacious crime unfolded in the quiet town of Tunbridge, UK. A gang of skilled thieves meticulously planned and executed the heist, making off with an astonishing £53 million equivalent to approximately $83 million. The criminals, armed with weapons and disguises, seized the manager of the Securitas depot and his family, coercing him to cooperate in this daring escapade. The sheer scale of the theft shocked the world, highlighting both the audacity of the criminals and the vulnerabilities in the security systems. The aftermath saw an intense investigation, leading to the capture and conviction of the perpetrators. The Securitas Depot robbery remains etched in history as a daring feat that captivates our fascination with the audacious world of high-stakes crime. Number 3. The Knightsbridge Security Deposit Robbery. The Knightsbridge Security Deposit Robbery, also known as the Lavender Hill Mob Heist, took place on July 12, 1987, in London, England. The crime was carried out by a single individual who posed as a wealthy Arab sheik and gained entry to the Knightsbridge Safe Deposit Center, a high-security vault. The robber tied up and threatened the staff, and then proceeded to make off with approximately £70+ million in cash, jewelry, and other valuables. This notorious bank robber, who was later identified as Valerio Vicii, a notorious Italian criminal, managed to pull off the heist with remarkable ease, despite the presence of several security measures. He was able to bypass the alarm systems and gain access to the vault, which was supposed to be impenetrable. Vicii managed to evade capture for several years, and the stolen items were never recovered. In 1990, Vicii was finally arrested in London and sentenced to 22 years in prison. He was later extradited to Italy, where he served additional time for other crimes. Number 2. The Dar es Salaam Bank Heist. Happened in 2007, the Dar es Salaam Bank in Baghdad was robbed by a group of armed men who made away with $282 million in cash and valuables. The 2007 Dar es Salaam Bank robbery in Baghdad, Iraq remains shrouded in mystery. Little is known about the specifics of the crime, including the reason behind the large amount of American currency that was reportedly stolen. According to reports, the heist was executed by several bank guards. It is suspected that the robbers may have had connections with local police and militias, which would have enabled them to successfully navigate the numerous checkpoints throughout Baghdad without being detected. Number 1. The Central Bank of Iraq Robbery. On March 18, 2003, the biggest bank robbery in the history happened. The Central Bank of Iraq in Baghdad was robbed of approximately $920 million in cash on the eve of the Iraq War. In the run-up to the Iraq War, Saddam deployed 3 substantial lorries to the central bank, accompanied by his son, Qusay, bearing a handwritten request to withdraw a staggering sum of nearly $1 billion, with the express intention of safeguarding the funds from the enemy. Despite the subsequent retrieval of most of the pilfered funds through well-orchestrated raids, the saga took a remarkable turn. American soldiers tasked with counting the purloined wealth partook in a subsidiary act of avarice, pilfering hundreds of thousands of dollars for themselves and their families. Ultimately, 35 service members were caught and held accountable for their transgression. This remains as the biggest bank robbery of all time in history and remains as a significant loss for the Iraqi people. Each of these heists is a testament to the audacity, cunning, and sometimes downright brilliance of those who dared to take on the vaults of financial institutions. Which one of these stories surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Melting Knowledge, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all our thrilling content. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. Thanks for watching.